So Nintendo's E3 2021 has come and went, and overall, there was a lot of stuff there, but a lot of stuff that was notably absent from this presentation. Going in, there was a ton of stuff that people predicted or just wanted to see that didn't really happen. And I thought it would be a fun video for today to take a look at all those games and talk about why they didn't show up and where we could see them in the future. Whether we see them at next year's E3 or at a Nintendo Direct in the meantime, I want to take a look at all these titles that people really wanted to see this year, but Nintendo just didn't deliver. So what's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switched Up, and here are the games that were absent from this year's Nintendo E3 Direct. Starting off with a new 3D Donkey Kong game. This one, all signs were pointing towards it happening. It's Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary, and there was a huge rumor that just hit saying that the Mario Odyssey team was working on a new 3D Donkey Kong game. This had me stoked because I love Donkey Kong Country, and obviously while that's 2D and this would be 3D, just more Donkey Kong is never a bad thing. On top of that, on his 40th anniversary, I mean, the Big Ape needed something, but unfortunately, naturally, it was a no-show. Now, why was this mysterious 3D Donkey Kong game a no-show? Well, as always, the rumor could just be wrong, but I think more likely this is probably a 2022 game that Nintendo didn't want to show. Normally during E3s, Nintendo exclusively focuses on games that are coming out that year. So for example, every single game we saw pretty much in this E3 is coming out in 2021. The one notable exception is Breath of the Wild 2, but since Breath of the Wild 2 was announced all the way back in 2019, it was one of those things where if they didn't show us anything, there would have been riots in the street, so they know they had to show us that. But besides that, every game we saw is coming out this year. So maybe Donkey Kong just isn't ready, and they didn't want to show us a 2022 game in the presentation that's so clearly focusing on 2021. Because of that, we could always see this being revealed later on in maybe a September Direct this year, or more likely a January or February Direct to kick off next year. If you guys enjoy the video and hear any game title that you wish was at this year's E3, make sure to smash the like button. And if you're yet to subscribe, subscribe. Most of our viewers are not subscribed, and if you enjoyed this video, we got a lot more videos coming soon, so why not send them to your subscription box? Sticking with the 3D platformer trend, Kirby was supposed to have a 3D entry shown off at this E3. Or at least that's what a lot of the fans say. Kirby really should have a 3D entry next. We haven't gotten a true 3D Kirby platformer pretty much ever. And we haven't gotten a mainline entry in the Kirby franchise since 2018. Star Allies was a good game, but a lot of people want more, and maybe that's just not ready yet. If HAL Laboratories is trying to make this new Kirby game the Breath of the Wild of the Kirby franchise, where it really like reinvigorates the entire series, they could just not be ready yet. Or maybe they probably are ready to show off like a teaser or something, but Nintendo just doesn't want them to show that yet. Again, if Kirby's coming out in 2022, then that could explain that perfectly fine. It falls into the same boat as Donkey Kong, where it could be shown off sometime soon, but my money's on January or next February, when we have that inevitable Direct showcasing the 2022 lineup. Alright, so the next game we're going to talk about here is the one I wanted to see the most. It pains me that this didn't happen, but I also was not expecting it. Mario Kart 9. It seems like this game is just never going to get shown off. We know they have to have a new Mario Kart, right? It's their top-selling franchise just ever, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the top-selling entry in that franchise. In fact, I think that's even showing out to be a problem now, because while Mario Party Superstars can come out after Super Mario Party has kind of stopped selling, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just hasn't stopped selling. It is still topping the charts 5 years after it comes out, so I mean, that could just be hurting us in like the trying to get a new Mario Kart sense. However, Mario Kart 9 is going to be a huge game. It's probably going to be a holiday title, and if you look at this year's holiday, we have a new Mario Party, a brand new 2D Metroid, Pokemon remakes, and those all count as like the big games, not even to count the smaller games like Advance Wars or WarioWare. Suffice it to say, this year's holiday is way too jam-packed to fit in a Mario Kart. It would just overshadow other titles. So I think a fall or holiday 2022 for Mario Kart 9 is probably my best bet at this point. I don't think they're gonna hold off forever. I think Mario Kart 9 will eventually come out on the Switch, and while I didn't think it was gonna happen this year, and it didn't, I think next year, I don't know, I have a good feeling about 2022. Next up, we have the Legend of Zelda remakes, aka Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, and maybe even Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask HD if they ever make those. These were heavily rumored, and they just made sense, as it was Zelda's 35th anniversary, and we just got, you know, all the Mario remasters for last year's Mario 35th anniversary, so we just kind of assumed that these would happen. However, unfortunately, Aonuma said they don't have any more plans for more Zelda titles when he was announcing Skyward Sword.
This year, the original Legend of Zelda game reaches its 35th anniversary. While we don't have any campaigns or other Nintendo Switch games planned,
Now, this could just be because Nintendo doesn't want to announce other Zelda remasters before Skyward Sword HD launches this July. That would make sense too, as they really probably don't want to dilute a very, like a not super big market. Like, there's not too many people trying to buy Zelda remasters. So to release 3 individually rather than the, 3D All-Stars 3-in-1 pack, yeah, that would definitely be a questionable decision for sure. I do think these are eventually going to happen, but if they're not really tied in with the 35th anniversary, then there's no reason for them to get them out pretty much like in any time frame. So I would not hold your breath on these at all. They might not come out for a couple of years, just until Nintendo, has a slot they need to fill in, or like, oh, let's shove in those Zelda remasters. Next up, Pokemon games. I saw a couple people really upset that the Pokemon games were not shown off, being, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legend Arceus. However, Pokemon games pretty much always get their own showcase, so there's really no reason for anyone to fret. I'm sure in the next, week or so, they'll probably get their own showcase. Or since their showcases are normally before E3, maybe they're waiting for some other announcement before they have their Pokemon Presents and show off these titles. Some other announcement like a Switch Pro perhaps? God knows Legends Arceus could definitely use the frame rate help from that first trailer. Next up, we have Mario Odyssey 2, or just some sort of new 3D Mario. We don't even know if this game is ready, or even exists to be shown off. I mean, we did just get Bowser's Fury earlier this year in the Super Mario 3D World port, so they could just be holding off, or again, working on that other 3D Donkey Kong game I mentioned earlier. I do think Odyssey 2 will eventually come out on the Switch, so it could be a 2022 E3 shower. But remember, I think Mario Kart 9's coming out next year as well, so having a new 3D Mario, Mario Kart 9, Breath of the Wild 2, and Splatoon 3, I don't know if Nintendo would want all those titles coming out that year, plus a Pokemon Legends Arceus game, which is like a whole new open world Pokemon coming out at the start of the year, so I'm not 100% sure. No one should be holding their breath for a new 3D Mario. We just got Bowser's Fury anyway. Honestly, I could see some 3D World DLC more likely than Odyssey 2. Last but not least, we have the 2 games that are stuck in purgatory, Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. Technically, Metroid Prime 4 was at E3, just in a very, very, very shallow capacity.
We're working hard on the latest game in the Metroid Prime series, Metroid Prime 4, which we previously announced.
These games, I think, are just simply not ready yet, and they better be absolutely huge because they've been in development for like 4 or 5 years now. Naturally, we know Metroid Prime 4 and I'm assuming Bayonetta 3 have had some internal development troubles, maybe scrapping and restarting once or twice, but both Retro Studios and Platinum Games know how big these titles are supposed to be. They know the hype behind them, and they definitely do not want to show off anything until they have it looking like they, want it to look like. So honestly, I don't think there's any excuse for these, I just think they're not ready yet. They could show up at any direct at any time, like you just do not know with these games that have had like crazy internal development histories, but it would not surprise me if we get a Metroid Prime 4 teaser in maybe like a September direct. Because remember, if Metroid Dread is coming out in October, Nintendo might just want to, put the Metroid name like out there, get some buzz going around, Metroid Prime 4 to get people excited about Dread. So if we get that September Direct, I would not be surprised if we get like a cinematic with maybe a, subtitle reveal like Metroid Prime 4 Retribution or something like that, and then maybe a tentative year of like 2023 or something. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and did I forget any games that Nintendo forgot to put in E3? If you made it this far into the video, hit the like button if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you're new because we have a lot more E3 coverage coming soon. And with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Thomas from the Switch Shop signing off. Peace.